This is Beach Talk Radio.
Good morning, Mr. and Mrs. America, and all ships at sea. This is your captain speaking, Mean Gene. Mean Gene. The following will be a test of the ship's whistle, the sonar alarm, the cable alarm, and the atomic attack alarm.
Oh, isn't that hair fabulous? Broadcasting live from the new hotspot on Fort Myers Beach, Wahoo Willies! It's time for another exciting, award-winning episode of Beach Talk Radio. Here are your humble hosts, Kim and Ed Ryan.
Thank you all. Thank you all for coming to Wahoo Willie's on a hot July Saturday morning. Thank you to Greg Skasny for bringing his parents. Thank you to everybody who are visiting. We have visitors from, they live here, right? You guys live here, right? You have a condo down here. Oh, what part of New York do you live in? Yeah. Okay. Can you nail down a city?
Where is it?
Burgess, New York. I don't know where that is. Is that anywhere near Brockport or Rochester?
Buffalo and Jamestown?
Yeah,
is it between Buffalo and Jamestown?
Dear, get close to me. You're making me very uncomfortable being so far away.
Well, you're too close to me.
So before we introduce our fabulous guest for today, one of the things that's been going on the last week is for some reason
seems kind of loud.
My wife is obsessed with going through pictures on our hard drive from like the last 10 years. Like all of a sudden,
more than that,
she thinks she needs to delete all the pictures from the hard drive. I don't know why, but now she's got...
It's a backup. You always need a backup plan.
Now she's got like weapons from years ago that she's going to be able to use against me because there's videos like... You know, doesn't everybody do silly things at their house on video where you never think your wife's going to post it on Facebook or Instagram? Like,
I didn't say I was going to do
doesn't
that.
Every guy put spoons on their nipples when they're dancing around the house or drop their pants? Or, I mean, isn't that just something you do when you're around with your family? Yeah. No, there'd be no posting of them. So, I mean, why do you have to make such a big deal of it? It's just, who cares? Nobody cares. We're all going to move on to the next life, and those videos will be worthless.
Well, I'm going to keep them. I'm going to keep them as collateral, as bribery.
Nobody agreed with me about the spoons. I mean, am I the only one that?
Well, I think you shouldn't have led with that.
Yeah.
You should have kept a lock.
The other one was like the tight pink, like whose pink shirt was that?
Yes, you
never put
our
a pink
daughter's shirt on.
It was a little tight.
Shirt.
Yeah, it was a little tight.
So. But you wear a lot of tight shirts.
Yeah. So one of the things that we want to talk about toward the end of the show.
That story fell flat.
Yeah, whatever. I mean, the whole show falls flat usually. One of the things that we're going to talk about at the end of the show, after we get our great guests on, is this
they're reconsidering. They're like, now. You're so unfunny and weird. I don't even want to.
If I was funny, I'd have an actual radio show. Like, I mean, the reason I do this is because I'm not funny.
No, that's why you would have a radio.
The beach renourishment project has really become like a major issue on the island with people not signing the easements. And by the way, we're going to have the town manager on next Saturday to talk more about all the issues going on the beach with the permitting and Bayside Park and the beach renourishment. But I mean, half the people that own property on Fort Myers Beach have not signed the easement to allow the new sand to come on. And you were in some kind of rabbit hole last night about other communities that have done it. And I think the biggest problem is that people just don't trust either the town or government in general about if you put taxpayer-funded sand on private property, what happens to that?
That a lot.
I mean, so we'll talk about that later on the show.
Well, I just think it is done. It's done a lot of places. It's something that needs to be done. So I don't know, people just need to get together and work out the verbiage.
I got a long email from somebody today. I'm not putting those spoons anywhere near me. How dare you? A long email today from a resident on Fort Myers Beach who was like, I can't believe you're in favor of people signing the easements. It was like 3 pages long about you're making it sound like you're in favor of people signing the easements. I mean, this is like a $23 or a $32 million beach renourishment. It's going to transform the entire beach. And so, I mean, what's going to happen is,
However, though,
if people don't sign the easement, you'll have one house on the beach that has fresh sand, and then you'll have 5 houses that have divots.
no, you
And then-
won't, because if they don't get enough contiguous,
Well, who makes that
properties,
decision?
well, I imagine it's
There's
not
going-
you or me, but
Right. There's going to be
but-
beach renourishment. So, I mean, it needs to be explained better. And one of the things I said to Dan and to Andy, or nobody has to listen to me, is that the town attorney,
actually, that's really good advice. Folks.
Nobody should
Don't
listen to
ever
anything I say.
Listen to him.
yeah, one of the things that I said was the town attorney should make a 2-line statement that says, okay, it's not going to be public property and you should take the sand. That's if they said that. If an attorney said that your land is going to still be your land, they would take the sand. I think there's distrust of the I mean, just look
I know,
at the.
dear, but you have been involved in a few legal things to know that things are never distilled down to 2 sentences.
I'm telling you what, if I owned a house on the beach,
It's
I wouldn't
never
be doing
that
a
easy.
podcast. First of all, if I owned a house on the beach, I'd be just sitting in the sand every day. I would want the sand. I mean, I would want the sand. Who's going to who's going to know that sand was taxpayer funded, and what person is going to sit on the sand next to somebody's house when they want to be close to the water?
Yeah,
People want to be close to the water. They don't want to be close to somebody's house.
that's what we were talking about. And I think that the email brings up some other issues. And so all the other issues that the homeowners have, it just needs to be explained
Yeah.
so people are
Right.
comfortable or not so they can just make a decision.
Right.
Yes or no,
Part-
and then move on.
Oh,
Like
part
you
of
should
the
move on right now.
Right. Part of the challenge to it, and I will move on, is that you got certain number of houses that are for sale because of the storm. And so they're probably just waiting for either the houses to sell or not sell. And they don't even want to deal with something like this. So, but the beach renourishment is going to happen later this year. All right, everybody. Our first guest, by the way, these artists, if you want to donate to what they're doing at the elevator in Times Square, you can put money right here. I expect to see people walking up and putting money right here. Summer and Lacey, come on down. They've been painting yes, give them a big hand.
Now I have to
You
move
sit
over.
I promise not to kiss you.
I'm doing this just for you guys. Moving over. This is difficult.
They
and
have,
painful.
They've been painting the Times Square elevator since Chris Primo. I knew that was. Go ahead.
So they've been painting the. It's not. It might be these two guys. He has a whole hour to set it up every week.
Actually, I've been here since you were good. We're good. I've been here
Thank you,
since 9
Marie.
o'clock, and anyway. So you guys have been. First of all, how did Chris contact you? How'd you come into getting involved in the project?
Actually, my friend, and she's actually a client of mine, Ann, she's actually here. She's in from out of town.
Hi,
she
Ann.
actually tagged me on the post and said, Lacey McClure, you need to do this. And so she reached out, I reached out, and then, all the dots connected. And, I don't feel like anything happens by chance. And so, I get to work with Summer and Chris, and I think it's just an amazing project that's going on. So.
And I didn't do the right introduction. Lacey is
That's
here.
right.
Summer is here, and this is my wife, Kim. Yeah.
Yeah. You're so
So
not.
how
funny.
did you guys?
So can I just ask? Let's just back up a little bit. So how did you guys? How did you come to be artists? Like, tell us a little bit about yourselves and how you ended up here on Fort Myers Beach. To give a little context to the conversation. Go ahead. You go
Let me start?
first.
Okay, I can
Yeah.
start. Okay, well, my name is Summer. Nice to meet you. I was born and raised in Bonita Springs, so I grew up coming to Fort Myers Beach. So I've been doing art my entire life. I got really big into it in high school, and I was doing art shows and stuff like that for my school. And then I went to college for it and got a degree in illustration and design. And then I moved back home and started up my business doing murals. But I was just a server when I came back at a restaurant, and they needed help. They wanted a mural outside, and I didn't know how to do murals. I mean, that's pretty large scale coming out of a school doing just illustrations. So I told them, please let me try it. And they're like, no, we need someone more professional. It's a huge, scale. I'm like, if you just let me do one, I'm like, I will cover it up.
Yeah,
if you
right.
don't
You
like
can cover it
I
with
will
paint
pay
if
for
you-
all of it.
That's
And they
right.
loved it. So I did 8 more. And then after that, I quit. They weren't happy about that. Because then they lost their server. But and then I started up my business, and now I'm 3 years strong with it. And I'm constantly reaching out to people to do murals and just spread art and everything everywhere. I travel all over Florida. So when Fort Myers Beach happened with all that devastation, I actually created shirts, and I donated all the money to like Doc's Beach House, Yo Taco, families. And I also reached out to these businesses. I'll give you a good deal. You know, if you let me fix this up for you, I'll charge you just about nothing, because I was trying to get myself out there and also just helping. I was born and raised here, so it was really important for me, on top of, you know, just having a growing business as well. So,
Yeah.
of course, I reached out to Chris when I heard he was looking, and that's how I got into it. I'm
Nice.
like, I'll donate it. Just let me do it. And now it's amazing. It's
I know
such a
you were
great
gonna-
experience. It's been an awesome experience, and everyone's support has been so appreciated. I just want to get that out there because it's overwhelmingly appreciated.
And how did you get involved? And your history?
As far as art
Yeah.
goes, yeah. So I've pretty much.
I mean, unless you want to tell us some personal details, that'd be
Hey,
funny
I can get
and
into that.
entertaining.
Too. I can get into that too. I could probably write a book.
Oh, don't give him an inch. He'll take a mile.
There's no hard stop on the show. We can
That's
stay.
right. That's right.
No, you know, I've been an artist since I was a child, and to me, some of the greatest artists, like my little niece, and their minds and their creativity is just, you know, unleashed, and they don't put a restriction on it, and it's just amazing. So literally, ever since I was little, I've been doing art. All through school, I did art. My background is actually in interior design, and I'm a self-taught painter. I did not go to school to be a painter or an artist, but I have been doing art professionally it's been about 15 years now. One of the murals that everybody may know would be at the Mad Hatter restaurant, which did get wiped out in the hurricane. And then my studio was right over the bridge here, right by Olson Marine. And so all the shrimp boats ended up kind of over it and on top of it. But Bill Simmer was a dear friend of mine, and he leased me that space, and I'm forever grateful to him. And so I had a studio and gallery, and then I had a studio and gallery over on Sanibel towards the lighthouse. So I've been out on Sanibel putting my artwork in restaurants out there it's been about 15 years now. And so George and Wendy's, that was there. So literally every single restaurant my artwork was in has been demolished by the hurricane. So I am now working on getting some new stuff out there and new places. And this project is so much hope and really healing. It's going to be healing for me, even going through the pictures and honoring certain people, honoring memories and moments for me. It's been really interesting. I know I've kind of been holding my design a little close to the sleeve, but
Okay.
I want it to be perfect and really represent my heart and love for Fort Myers Beach.
So everybody knows what's going on. The pictures that you've seen so far on the elevator, she's done the side that faces La Ola, and that's also your side that's facing Margaritaville. So you've painted the turtles, and you've painted the pier, and welcome to Fort Myers Beach, which is now what people see when they come over the bridge. That's the first thing they see, which is, did you plan
cool.
that way? Nice. And so
No, it was just a mistake.
what do I know? Very nice. And so you'll finish your side, and then Lacey, you'll take the other
Yep.
two sides when that's complete.
I'm doing the beach side and then the side facing the restaurant, and we're sharing a lift. So
Is it that if you had two lifts, it would be better, or one lift is?
I think we're getting close to
I see.
possibly. I mean, we're open to lift options.
And just so everybody knows that's watching, we have a fairly large audience today. If you go to Beach Talk Radio News right now, you can donate to the GoFundMe page, which all the money's going to Lacey and Summer for what they're doing. So we did get a nice kiss yesterday or the day before, which boosted the total quite a bit. So you can go over there and you can click on the GoFundMe page. It would be nice to be able to hit that $15,000 number, because I'm sure that will help you recover some of the stuff that you've lost too.
Absolutely. And I know Summer, she's been, not to speak for you, but she's been moving around and stuff since the hurricane as well. And I don't know if anybody caught the news press, but we were on the front page of the news press, and her beautiful little daughter Nova was there painting with her, and it was adorable. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, if you go to the news press online, you can see the time lapse.
Yeah.
Like, they have that in the box online where you could see the time lapse of you and your daughter there, which is pretty cool. So
I was really touched.
How old is she?
I got her working at 1. She
okay,
just
get
turned
her right.
1 on Tuesday.
Oh my gosh.
wait,
Well,
she
happy
looked like she was
birthday to her.
walking.
Yeah.
Well,
Do you walk it? It's been
She
so long
runs.
since I had I mean, I'd like to have more kids, but do they walk at 1?
that's not happening.
She
Why
has
not?
her running the lift. No.
She's running. She's been walking since she was 8
I mean,
and a half months old.
thank
so-
you. How old do you start walking? I totally
Like between like 10 and 12,
so was she
10
there,
and 18
like
months.
when
But it's on
did
a
she start
channel.
walking? When?
8 and a half months old.
Oh, is that early?
Wow.
That sounds
I've
like
been
it's early.
chasing her around
I
for
see.
a while.
All right. So, how did you come up with the idea for the pier? See, I thought it was just going to be the pier. I was like, "Holy shit, that was that looks awesome!" And then all of a sudden, you're adding turtles. Like you would think
Thank
all
you.
those turtles that you painted there would take a freaking year. It was crazy how they just started multiplying on top of that pier. I mean, how does that happen?
I work.
Okay, thank you. And thank you for coming on.
You're welcome.
I mean, come on.
I just
Let us in
painted.
on the
Sorry.
secret.
I know I'm adding little and little every other day, So like today, I'm going to go work after this and you'll see a little bit more. But I still have a lot more to add. And there's a lot of meaning behind all of it.
All right, well,
too.
tell us what the meaning is.
Well, first of all, it's Fort Myers Beach, obviously. I had to put in the pier. The pier is super important. And then the sea turtles are representing all the people who passed away on the island. So they're going out to sea, which is ironic because all the sea turtles just started hatching like this past week or so, which it was like record breaking or something. So that's cool. Right now I'm working on the American flag, which is going to flow from one wall to the second because, of course, America. And then I'm going to have a shrimp boat that I'm probably going to start today. And then I'm going to have more turtles and then possibly an osprey holding a stick because at the end of the hurricane, they were all freaking out about losing their homes, but they got up, picked up a stick, and they started rebuilding. So it's going to have all these messages, and it's, to have the reminder of the nostalgic Times Square that we had, but also there's going to be a lot more coming, greater stuff too. So
Now, Lacey, one of the things you said before the
Do you
show.
know what an osprey is?
Can we go through one show without her just trying to make me look dumb?
Do
Gotta
you?
be that way. It's a bird, dear. It's a bird with a big giant neck. Or is that an ostrich? I get them confused. It's a pretty bird. Thank you very much.
yeah,
So, Lacey,
I'll show you in a couple days.
thank you. One of the things
And I
that,
rest my case.
that you said was that you want people to give you suggestions for when you get your turn at the lift. So
Yes.
if anybody wants to suggest something, you can type. I know
Well,
this is going to be
let
crazy.
me clarify
All right, go
this
ahead.
before it gets
Go
out
ahead.
of hand because I already can feel this coming on.
Yeah.
So basically, my side part of it will be an area where folks can come and take a picture and tag themselves. That was really important to Chris. But I want it to be a positive message, and so it's going to be very colorful. And also the other parts that I have figured out at this point, I believe will definitely include a sailboat and have a kind of shine on, sail on, soar on, like really like we're going to get through this. We're resilient. Really have a lot of hope that, things can be restored from what has happened. And I want it to be colorful and fun and happy. So I'm kind of at that point in the design process. Probably by Monday, I will have it fully put together. I'd say it's about 3/4 of the way, both sides.
So let me ask you this.
No,
Do you-
let me
let-
ask.
No,
let
let
me
me
ask.
ask. Let me ask.
Do
Let
you
me ask.
sketch
Let me
it
ask.
out first, or do you just do it in your mind and then go?
Stole my question.
So sketch it out first. Just because of I do it differently depending on the painting. Like when I paint, a lot of times I paint with my hands. I don't paint with brushes. So something like this, we grid it out, we plan it out, and she was amazing, man. She freehanded. No, 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 no. No, 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 no.
I won't show it. I'll keep it to myself.
That's the brain of an artist right there. That's not okay.
It looks like scribble.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's
That's cool. Is that what the the elevator is going to look like?
Oh yeah.
Wow, that looks like scribble. Yeah, I'm sure it's not going to look like. What else? You got any phone numbers in here?
That's like the book. You know that
Your
movie,
little black book.
I know. It's
That's like videos at home with
What
the
was it, on the
spoons
elf?
on your
This
nipples.
is the book.
Your face is super red. You poor thing.
You got-
Holy.
How about that? How about your friends doing that to you
I
like
tell
that?
you what.
So
Wow.
But my thought was, I would like to incorporate a bright flamingo, maybe a seahorse, maybe a turtle. I know she's also doing turtle, so I don't want to go turtle heavy. But I'm trying to figure out an area where to incorporate that. The meaning behind seahorses are pretty incredible. So that really
love
speaks
them.
to me.
are there a lot of seahorses on Fort Myers Beach, or is there?
There
yeah.
are.
On the
I mean,
beach.
where would you
They're
find
in
one?
in the ocean.
I see.
Yeah.
I see. I
You
don't go
see
out.
the
I don't go out in the
level of
water very
knowledge.
often. So, no.
They're small, but
yeah.
pretty incredible
Yeah.
creatures. So
So your pants are totally filled with paint. Like, how many years
Are
back
those your
do
painting
those
pants?
pants
I think,
go?
I think every item of clothing that I own is called painting clothes.
Yeah, you
But
do.
to follow up on that last point, we did start a page called Restored.
Are you talking about Chris's page?
Yeah,
It's called
it's a
Times Square
Project.
Project.
Yes. So
You can go on
there's a
that
lot
now.
of updates on that. And then if I'm going to post a couple of things on there, just some little segments of what I'm working on. I think at the end of this, it's going to be a little bit of it won't be a surprise to me because I do know what I'm doing, but just like anything else, everything's a process. And so while you're creating, things come together. You're out there painting, you see something different and it strikes you as inspiration. You go with it.
I have to be honest. When Chris said that he was going to refurbish the wall, I mean, it had rebar coming out of it. It was totally hammered from the storm, but it was still standing. And he had the blue paint there. And then he said he was gonna bring artists in to paint it. And I thought, wow, I mean that's interesting. But it turned out to be such a huge inspiration for folks on the beach, and so many people were following it. The TV stations were covering it, and the newspaper was covering it, and it's really become an important part of Times Square down there is going to take forever to be rebuilt, and so it's nice to see something looking bright down there.
Yeah.
Did you think it was going to be as big as it's become?
No, not at all.
So
I'm glad it has.
yeah.
Well, yeah.
I personally I'm not surprised because I think everybody has been coming down here and it's like all you see is destruction. And I lived on Sanibel and I've told several people that live on Sanibel, have you driven to Fort Myers Beach?
Yeah.
The devastation is unreal and it literally is still is this. I mean, there's been a lot done, but at the same time, it still is really rough over
So
here.
much more to do.
And
You're
it's
right.
and it feels like, is it going to change? And so the fact to see some color in a place where people went to take pictures at the pier, I think is such an inspiration and wonderful
When
thing.
I was over there,
Too, let me just
Go
say
ahead.
this. I to your point about having some color, it was a big deal when all the street signs were down and people started making the street signs and making them colorful. That was a huge thing. It was uplifting for
It was a
everybody.
little thing, too.
It was such a little thing, but it was a huge thing to see some color. I mean, and help people know where they were going. But
One of
are
the
you
things-
making faces behind me?
No, I would do that right to you. I wouldn't do it behind
I
you.
was trying not to tear up.
One of the things
I'm not kidding.
One of the things that I think would be cool when you guys are done is if there's a way to put like a circular staircase where people could come right up to where it says "Welcome to Fort Myers Beach" and take selfies that way. I mean, that would be an amazing
put
thing.
in a spot where people can take selfies.
There will be a lower spot, and it will
Okay.
have FMB and some other lettering and wordage that I think will be inspiring and positive and colorful.
Now we
So-
had a question from the audience.
Wait, okay.
Is it how long did it take you to do that side, Summer?
The front side Probably 3 days, working about 6 hours a day. This heat kills me. So 6 hours
geez,
is about my
I
max.
can't believe it took you that long for that. I mean, holy cow.
That's
I know,
incredible.
I know, it's crazy. It's crazy.
I'm like, Chris is like, so how long is it going to take you? I go, Chris, let's go ahead and rent that lift for the month, okay?
Yeah.
Right. Well,
And I'm like, she's a machine.
Lacey, before you
Wow.
let it get away, you want suggestions for whatever spot you have left. So if you want to type suggestions in the chat box, I will pass them along to you. Now go ahead and make some parameters.
Yeah,
there.
if they're like a sea creature or something that is representative of something to you, or something on Fort Myers Beach that's special to you, if there's some way I can incorporate something, I will. To me, murals, I love when you walk up to a mural and you go, wow, look at the color on that, or wow, look at the scale of that. And so sometimes to me, when it gets too busy, things get lost in translation. So I don't want that to happen.
Not like a Where is Waldo kind of situation.
Yes.
Right.
So it will be very clear. My piece will be a little bit more geometric, probably a little bit more modern side, and hopefully a little bit funky. So I would like to do some type of sea creature, because I know that's what I'm known for on Sanibel and over here. But I'm also known for my abstract work and modern work. So, can
you embed an image in there, like just one, just like one thing that people can find. Okay.
I'm going to get creative with it.
Yeah.
I just have a question, because I'm an artist too, but we have a home here at Fort Myers Beach on the south end, but we in Port Clinton, Ohio, have murals that have been painted because we're known for the War of 1812. So I'm curious, because the sun is hotter here than up north on Lake Erie, especially in the wintertime. But over the years, when you're when you're done with the painting part, is there some kind of lacquer you put over that to preserve it so it lasts longer, that it doesn't chip off? Because over the years they've had to repaint that mirror. I just want to put that out to you if you want to think about it.
I do sometimes, depending on where it is. But I use exterior house paint, so it lasts long.
And the other question is my suggestion, so I don't have to write it down. On the south end of the island, there is an eagle, and he's been in Laguna Shores for years, which they had to rebuild their nest. And I'm a wildlife photographer, so Nancy Hurl would like to see an eagle for the strength.
I have a feeling that was in your wheelhouse there.
Their strength to bring us all back together.
Yeah,
and it's nice meeting you. You guys
nice
are
to meet
awesome.
you.
Thank you.
So yes,
awesome.
She's awesome.
Thank you, Nancy. Thank you.
But yes, so I did a picture right after the storm, because literally lost all of my supplies and everything else. So I got on the internet, started creating, and did the broken down pier with an eagle flying over it that has a heart on its back. And I'm hoping to incorporate that actual eagle in the picture with the heart.
Wait, did you say you painted that somewhere? Is it for sale somewhere?
It's on my website. It's a print. You can get it in. I actually had somebody order one last week that was 48 by 60 printed.
Wow.
And I'm going to embellish it with paint for her.
And the name of the website, please?
LaceyMcClary.com. And so I had to move out of my cottage. I'm getting off track here, but I had to move out of my little cottage on Sanibel. I lost my home. And so I moved into this property in Fort Myers, and literally I was like, okay, this is a gift. I mean, I'm living off of a garage space. I've made a kitchen, but the whole garage it's basically like an open air thing like this, unair conditioned. That's what I've been working in, which I'm so grateful to have a place to work and to live. But out the window is an eagle's nest, and that is the only reason the property is still there. And the eagles lost their nest, and so literally every day I started watching them building. And he's I think I believe first or second year dad, and this eagle was out of control, like building this nest back. And so these eagles have been such an inspiration. I saw them the other day. The parents have already come back. They had 2 babies. It was incredible. It was like
Wow.
I became a bird watcher. It was like out of control.
Great story. So some of the suggestions were, they love the eagle idea. Manatees.
So you'll see that
Yeah.
in there.
Manatees. Lot of manatees, Lacey. Dolphins.
Well, a lot of manatees. yeah.
Dolphins, manatees, shrimp, pelicans, but the eagle got some
Yeah.
I
big
like that.
kudos.
Yeah.
So
So when you were talking about murals everywhere, have you been to Austin, Texas? Because they have like, it's a thing. You go there and they have murals everywhere and people go and get their pictures in front of them. And it just is such a unique thing that it would be so great to see that down here, like
Yes.
different places, make it a spot where people can go take a picture. And like you said, bring some beauty amid all of this
I love
devastation.
beauty. Beauty is my middle name. No,
Is it?
it is.
You're married to her, right?
Yes.
Oh, thank you.
Very nice, Lacey. How about a man of war with tentacles? They can be so beautiful, but their sting is hurtful. What's a man of war look like?
I think
like a
that's more like a
jellyfish.
yeah.
We don't want that. No, that's a dumb idea. I'm just kidding.
Oh.
I'm kidding. I'm
It's-
joking. I was
It's so
joking.
interesting if you look up the meaning of different animals, what it means. So they all have important meanings.
What?
You have a lot of options.
Yeah. Do you need paint supplies? Do you need rollers? Do you need
Well,
turpentine? Anything?
I have a trailer
thinner.
that's full of stuff.
Yeah.
I think I've only had to buy one thing of paint, or no, maybe for the background. But the lift, I'll be done with this weekend, so it's hers.
Yeah. So
So-
Summer,
And you're
That would
gonna
have
be
been
on.
good 2 weeks ago, but
you got lots of tattoos
But-
there. So what are the
Yes.
meanings? Are
What's up?
like you got there everywhere? Like what's going on with that?
listen,
Like,
is
go
it
ahead.
Ed? Ed,
What do
I
you mean,
travel
is
a
it, Ed?
lot.
Come on now. I mean, so
I
what is
travel
that?
a lot.
Yeah.
I draw all over myself for a really
I
long
see.
time.
I mean,
So do you
So
draw
they
them
all
and then
have
have
meaning.
somebody
do you draw
else
them
do
first and say, I want this on my shoulder, or
Sometimes they're spur of the moment. Sometimes
Yeah.
I'll just go in the shop, draw it, and then
I
hand
see.
it to them.
Spur of the
Do you
moment.
have someone that you specifically
Yeah.
use here? Yeah.
I do have an artist that I've known for a really long time. She's been tattooing me for a very long time, Amber Johnson.
Okay.
She's over in Benito or Estero now, or Amber.
One time I
Potassium,
was
so she got
driving
married.
home and I called her and I said, "Dear, I'm just going to stop by the tattoo shop and I got to get one of my back shop." I mean, it's just become a regular thing now.
You're old.
I know. I mean, that's a different generation back then. So do you,
The sports car comes next.
the what?
Sports car.
Oh, for him?
You have a
Yeah,
sports car?
right.
Oh, no.
I wanna
never.
know
I mean, look what I'm
for-
driving out here. That
For your
piece of
midlife
malarkey out
crisis.
there. So,
No, he knows nothing about cars, so that would not be a thing.
what other kind of painting do you guys? I mean, give out your website so people can go on there and buy your products. I mean, they're amazing. I've seen both of the websites. So,
What
go
is
ahead,
yours,
Summer. I know you're
Summer?
mad at me because I asked about the tattoo, but go ahead and give out the website and all that.
Mine is Summa SUMMA Days DAZE art.com.
So, how did you
so-
come up with SUMMA?
So, I know it's gotten confusing for everybody, so I should probably change it soon. But it was named after a cottage out here.
No kidding.
So, yeah, I grew up going to this house. My friend Keith lived out here for a really long time before the hurricane, and we used to hang out there in high school. And then it got bought, and then they made them all into cottages, and then it was called Summer Days after that. So I was like, if I have a business, that's what I'm naming it. And sure enough, I did. And
Wow.
now I'm here, and it's a crazy circle.
No kidding. Wow. So listen, I've been trying to work with the town and the mayor about the wavy wall in Times Square. You know what I'm talking about over by where Dairy
Lynn Hall
Queen used to
Park.
be, and that where it separates Times Square from Lynn Hall Park. They got that wavy wall there.
Mm-hmm.
Could you guys, like, if we raised enough money, could you paint like the old pictures of Pete's Time Out and Plaka and the different restaurants? If we got your pictures, I mean, I don't, the town, I got to prove it with the town, but we've been talking about that entire wavy wall. It's an ugly pink right now. It would be cool to be able to see the old restaurants on that wavy wall going from
I think that
one
would be
end-
cool.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So what kind of money do I need to raise for that? What do you think?
For me,
Not to put you on the
No,
spot or
seriously. I
anything.
mean, how much?
for me, it really depends on the design and everything.
Yeah.
But I want to paint this whole island so bad.
Right.
I
Yep.
mean, I would take donations or, give you discount. I do
What do
still
you
have
think?
to work.
10,000
at a kid,
enough? Would 10,000 be enough for
I
the
haven't
wall?
looked at how long it
That's
is, but
All right.
funny,
Well,
yeah.
why?
we can
Well,
we can go with it.
yeah. If you,
I mean, I'm looking at this wall over here, and I'm thinking, let's hit this one next summer, right here.
Yeah.
Let's
Yeah.
do big flamingo, big
Yeah. What
wall
seahorse.
is
Let's
that?
do some fun stuff over
oh,
here.
over there. Oh, yeah, that'd be
Yeah.
nice because you can see that wall from. You can see it from coming over the bridge. You can
So-
see that wall too. So
So
I'll
whoever,
paint all this.
let's do this.
no, when you guys go to Times Square today, send me a number, and I'll get with the town because that needs to be spruced up
Yeah.
a little bit. It's
I'd like to
just
see
kinda
that whole area
plain.
spruced
Yeah.
up,
You're right.
All
You're
of
right.
all of it.
So if people want to come over and watch you paint today, what time will you be there?
I'm going right now.
Yeah.
Or whenever you're done with me.
Well,
She's like, she's
been done with me for the
"Please
last
let it
15
be
minutes,
over
like-
as
She's just
soon
dealing with a
as
1-year-old, so-
possible."
Right.
Whenever you're going to
She's
let
like
me go.
running the
Well,
Where-
then she should be well prepared to deal with him.
She's driving the
Right.
bus right here.
hey, how dare you?
No,
No.
I'm kidding. I'm
No.
kidding.
So just
Oh,
give
my
out
God,
your
fun.
information one more time, and then we'll let you guys go paint.
Go ahead, you go first.
You could just call me. My number is 954-743-8652. I'm really simple and easygoing. 954-743-8652. Or my website is Summa, SUMMA, art.com.
All right.
That
Got
creeper
it.
over there is just putting it on there.
Greg's on it.
All
He's
right,
got
go
it ready.
ahead.
And my phone number is 918-740-4972, and it is LaceyMcClary.com.
Say it
Um,
one more
and
time
then-
slowly.
918-740-4972. And my website is, what is it? LaceyMcClary.com. And then on social media, it's Lacey McClary Studio and Gallery on Instagram and Facebook.
Now,
And where
Lacey,
can I get those glasses? I love them.
I know.
I buy direct.
They are really cool.
You know, I have to be honest with you. When I first saw the glasses, they looked like there was tape across, like taping it
Yeah.
together. So it's a different. I guess it's a style
I-
thing for younger
I
people.
just got these in, and
apologize to both of you.
No,
Thank
Lacey,
you.
how dare she do that?
No.
I mean,
Just one to you,
And
but now
Lacey.
I did want
Chris?
to. I did want to follow up. You mentioned, do you need anything? I know Chris had
Yeah.
mentioned
You mentioned.
possibly if he can get it approved, and if it's something we can do to do like maybe solar lighting at night, so we can see that. If for some reason they
it's gotta
cannot,
be amber.
it's got to be turtle friendly.
if for some reason we cannot get the lift level on the two areas that I'm painting, we may end up needing a boom lift, but I think we will be able to get it level.
Yeah.
I would prefer to use what we've been using.
Yeah.
And so we're just really excited to do this project for Fort Myers Beach.
Yeah.
And
It
we
looks-
really
it
hope
looks
to
re-
keep adding color around here, local color.
It looks
and,
amazing. I mean, it really does.
Honoring Chris's family too, you know, and the legacy that this was his idea. And it was really important to his heart to honor his family and his dad. And they have Norm's Parking. They also had the surf shop there at Times Square. And I think it's such a beautiful thing that he's done, and such a beautiful thing in his heart that he thought up. And the fact that we're doing this together and met, I think it is just incredible. And we're happy to give back to everyone.
It looks amazing, and you guys are doing an awesome job. So thank you so much for
Thank
coming
you
on
so
and
much.
putting up with Kim. We really appreciate
Big
it.
hand of out.
Thank you.
Before they go, if anybody else wants to donate, and you guys
Yes, and
just
thank
take
you
the
to
money with you.
everybody. Thank you so
Thank
much
you.
for the donation.
Thank you guys for coming on. Thank you guys for coming down. So, all right, before we get to our next guest, we need to tell you about our great sponsors like Jorge Barrera. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Jorge, this is what I'm going to tell you about right now. This is a success story from somebody that Jorge has worked with. Jorge Barrera is a well-oiled realtor machine. I mean, look at him. He's a machine. We've used him to purchase a beautiful lot on San Carlos Island, a lovely starter condo for our daughter in Naples, our new home in Fort Myers. Wow, these people buy a lot of houses. Good thing Jorge's around. And most recently, to sell our Fort Myers Beach home. Why did we choose Jorge? Because he makes you feel like you're the only client he has. And he's a hugger. Oh, that wasn't in there, but I added that. He's kind of a hugger. He's always available. He has excellent knowledge of the beach and the surrounding areas. He's passionate about his job and his service to his clients. Plus, he gives back to the community. Yes, he definitely gives back to the community. If you pass by 820 Buttonwood any time of the day, you might see them over there helping out. All right, folks. Power Block Builders is somebody you should consider if you're building a new home on Fort Myers Beach. And there's a lot of people building homes on Fort Myers Beach. They have all of these things in the Genesis model. Hurricane impact windows, elevated concrete columns, tiled throughout the floor and the showers, LED recessed lighting, metal roof, granite countertops, stainless steel kitchen appliances, soft close shaker cabinets. I love the soft close shaker cabinets. They're my favorite. Nickel plumbing and fixtures, matching granite windowsills, nickel finished door handles, ventilated closet shelving. You don't have a closet unless you have ventilated closet shelving, because it's the best. Power Block Builders. Check them out online. Check them out on our website. We appreciate the fact that they're a sponsor of ours. Wow, that was amazing, dear. You did an awesome job of questioning our previous guests. And they're super... You're angry, or some reason you're angry with me. Every show, you seem to be more and more angry with me.
You just have been really extreme today.
What do I ask? I always ask people about their tattoos. What's extreme about that? What else did I do wrong?
I think you ask in a way that's not inquisitive, but like...
Okay, well, how should I have asked it? Maybe you should write down the questions for me before each show, so I know.
Next time I will write them down.
Thank you so much.
You picked on Marie. It's just a mess.
Okie dokie. All right, let's bring our next guest on, Jamie.
He's running for the hills right now.
No,
he's like,
fine.
the hell with this.
The guy's from Buffalo. He's fine. He's totally fine. Jamie DeGeorge is a mental health advocate. He's gonna. Oh, geez, he's a Buffalo Bills fan. We got to start off with the Buffalo Bills, New York Jets in Week 1 on Monday Night Football with Aaron Rodgers as the quarterback.
Hey, he's over the hill, I think.
Over the hill. He was the MVP for 2 straight years until last year. And
I know. We got Josh Allen. I think I don't know if you can see my socks and my sandals, but
yeah, big time Buffalo.
Yeah.
The Buffalo, and now I'm a Giants fan, so I mean, I'm sure that hurts a little bit more than even Monday Night Football.
Actually, one of my best friends is Brian Dable, the coach of the New York Giants.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Is that right?
He's from Buffalo.
Thank you for coming. Yeah, well, the Buffalo Bills didn't do too well against. All I remember, I'll never forget. Wide to the right, the right. You remember?
I knew this was going to happen.
Kicker's name was
going to happen.
Scott Norwood. He's going to go down in the Giants Hall of Fame.
I know.
Leave him alone.
What?
That's what Buffalo's known for, right? It's those 4.
I know. It would have been nice if they would have just won one. I mean,
I know.
I think everybody
in Buffalo says the same thing.
Especially with Kelly as the quarterback. I mean, just a great guy and an awesome quarterback. And they had such a killer team. Thurman Thomas, Jim Kelly.
Yeah, it was
Andre Reed,
crazy.
Bruce Smith.
Bruce
Yeah,
Smith
him
is the all-time leader in sacks in the NFL.
Yeah.
He's got the most sacks of all time. Bruce
Smith and Lawrence Taylor playing at the same time. That was something else.
Now that's a name I know.
Yeah.
LT.
Well, he didn't turn out too well after football. But so, Jamie, what is it that you do, man?
Well, I guess what is it that I don't do? Okay, I'm a mental health therapist in New York State. I'm a licensed counselor. I'm a singer in a band. I'm an amateur boxer.
Wow.
Geez, what else do I do?
Why are you here in Fort Myers?
I'm here in Fort. I've been coming to Fort Myers since I was 17 years old.
Wow.
I played college baseball.
For who?
For Canisius.
All right.
College in
Division
Buffalo.
3.
It's a Division 1 team.
Oh, Division 1. I see.
I had a
Stand
scholarship.
corrected.
I didn't know that.
Sorry.
Canisius.
I had a scholarship to Jacksonville University out of high school. So I did come down to Florida and play a little bit down here. Then I went back up north, and every year for spring break, we would come to Fort Myers.
Fort Myers Beach or Fort Myers?
Fort Myers City.
Okay.
And then we would have our spring training here every year.
Okay.
So I came down here for 4 years straight when I was 17 to 21. And I just fell in love with Fort Myers. I've been coming down here ever since. I have a lot of friends and family here, and I just, when watching, your show and watching what you guys are doing and just how you're trying to, just bring everybody back together and trying to, make people feel like, like they can have hope that it's going to be rebuilt and things are going to get back on track. And I think it's great what you're doing with your show.
So back in Buffalo, sorry, I'm going to wind it back there. When you're providing services to people, how much of your practice is devoted to like seasonal affective disorder? Like we are from up there, and it would be cloudy or cold or
80% of the time.
I mean, and then in winter you're gaining like 40 pounds because there's nothing to do. It's a struggle up there. Like what are some suggestions for people when they're dealing with stuff like that?
Go to the gym.
Well, that's what we used to do.
Right. I mean, I have, I'm also a certified trainer. You know what I mean? I don't have my certification yet, but I'm studying for it. But I take a lot of people to the gym. I tell a lot of my clients to, when you're up in Buffalo and it's, cloudy and snowy and for 6 months. And
what you really tell them is move to Fort Myers Beach.
Well, that's another reason why I'm down here is because a week ago in Springville, New York, where I live, which is about a half hour south of Buffalo, it was about 65 and windy and rainy for 3 days. And I said to my friend Jeff, who's sitting over here in the crowd, I said, Jeff, I got to come down to Fort Myers and come and see you because I'm losing my mind. It's the middle of July,
right?
And it's 65 and windy and rainy up there. So it's tough.
I'm wearing a parka at 65.
What does the jammer mean? A lot of people are texting in the jammer. What does that mean?
The jammer is my nickname.
Why does that? Where did that come from?
It came from being a singer in a band.
Yeah.
Okay.
And my name's Jamie, so it's just something that stuck.
Yeah.
People have been calling me the jammer for years and years and years.
Just somebody popped up somehow and started calling you the jammer.
Yep.
Like music jamming.
Because you jam
Jamming.
music.
Yeah.
Yep.
Now, do you have any tattoos?
I do not.
I see.
No.
Why not? I mean, it just seems weird.
I don't
you
know.
Don't have any.
I just, and what's funny is my brother Paul is a tattoo artist.
Well,
Wow, where is
how come you
he?
don't just pop into his place every once in a while and say,
I just never
you don't want
thought of getting a tattoo.
I don't want the jammer on your shoulder or something like that.
You know what? I probably should do that.
Yeah.
I mean, that'd be a good idea.
Thank you.
I know my kids are. I know my.
Wow, that was shameless. That was shameless.
I know my kids are watching. I do want
borderline.
to say hi to my 3 kids, Ava, Ty, and Mia. They're all watching right now.
What are their
Wow.
ages?
Ava's 21.
I see.
My son Ty is 14. He'll be 15 in September 4th, and my daughter Mia is 11.
20. Thank you guys
Bye.
for
Thank
coming.
you so much.
21, 14, and 11. A lot of separation there. Why so much separation?
Well, 2 different moms.
Okay.
Right.
All
Two baby mamas.
Yeah.
I don't know what that means.
Were you married? Were you married both times?
I was married to Ty and Mia's mom.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. Everybody get along and
Everybody gets along.
Nice.
You
That's
know,
good, thank
we've
you.
had our ups and downs. We've had some problems recently, but
What's your
I think we're
ex's
going to work
name?
them out.
Just first name.
First name of both my exes or just
you
my
have two
ex-wife?
Oh, sure, yeah.
Well, Ava's mom's name was Nikki,
Okay.
and my ex-wife's name is Kristen.
Okay.
So what is
I'm just making sure it wasn't
Did
Kim
you
because
say
we
you
got
had-
a thing going here.
Did you
about
say
that.
you had 2 exes?
Yes.
What's going on there? I mean, do you
How many
why?
exes have
I'm-
you
I
had?
have-
Because
I
you're
have
about
two.
to have
Ed,
your first one in about 2 minutes.
No, I mean seriously. I mean,
I'm a picky man, Ed.
I see.
I can't deny that. I mean, I'm sure you're 100% in love with your wife, right?
Since day one.
Right.
One.
Since the minute you laid eyes on her,
Yeah,
right?
Of course. I mean,
I'm looking for the same
And I
thing,
was-
and I haven't found it yet.
Oh.
So I mean, it's a rare.
So you're not
it's a
married
very rare
now.
thing.
Oh,
No,
I
I'm
see.
not.
I thought you had a third wife that you were with now. I see.
No, I'm single.
I
I am a single man.
Gotcha.
So,
So you're a mental health expert.
yes,
You're certified at something. Tell
I'm a
everybody.
licensed mental health therapist. I've been a
Is
therapist
that an
for-
actual title? A
Yeah.
license?
in New York State.
All
Yeah,
right.
I'm
Yeah.
a licensed mental health therapist.
Now in Florida, if you're a contractor in New York State, you're not allowed to come down and work on houses in Florida. You have to be a Florida licensed contractor.
You have to be here for that
Can
too.
I ask the question?
Well, it's an easy
Can you let
answer.
me ask the question?
The answer is
I mean,
yes. You have to get licensed in
Are
Florida.
you allowed to help
No.
somebody if they like? Yeah, I mean, you're doing a little one-on-one with somebody. It's not-
absolutely,
yeah,
absolutely.
yeah. So, right down here, there's a lot of stress on this beach. So,
Yeah.
how are you helping people out?
right up here in these seats? There's a
Um,
lot of stress.
You know what I do on my if you go on my Facebook, Jamie D. George, and you look it up, you'll see a lot of videos about motivational videos. You'll see a lot of counseling videos that I call free counseling, where I talk about depression, anxiety, PTSD, schizophrenia, bipolar disorder, anything and everything, to try to give people the right information, on how to access services, on how they can help themselves, just different things that they can do, to combat, whatever it is they're dealing with. Since I've been down here, I've been talking to people, up and down the beach. I've been talking to people all over the city. People want to know why I wear the clothes that I do, why I look the way. I said I'm an amateur boxer. I plan on being the heavyweight champion of the world.
That's kind of silly.
It is kind of silly, but it's a dream.
Like the heavyweight champion of the
Heavyweight
world.
champion of the world.
What do you
Boxing.
want
Like
to be?
who's the boxing heavyweight champion right now? Is it
Tyson
still-
Fury is his name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he kicked the living crap out of you like in the first 10 seconds.
I'm pretty
right?
sure
I mean,
he is going to kick the living
no,
crap
I'm
out of you.
serious. Ed, being
Ed,
serious.
to be honest
I'm not
with
a
you,
boxer.
I'm not trying to sound like a jerk. To be honest with you, I've never lost a fight in my life.
Okay.
I just
Wow.
knocked out a
Can
guy.
you say that?
I just knocked out a guy a week ago for coming on my property with a fully loaded AR-15.
How did you knock him out before he pulled the trigger?
Knocked the gun out of his hand and gave him a right cross
there
and
video
lights
of
out.
that?
There, I got video on my
This
phone of it.
really took a
Is
left
this true? Is
turn.
he telling a true
This-
story about that? Wow.
This
Why was he
really
on your
took a left
property?
turn.
He was on my property. This is an awful, awful thing that happened. This is a true story. All my friends in Buffalo know that this happened. I went to Walmart last Wednesday. I bought a hunting rifle,
I love Walmart
right? I brought it home.
Yeah.
I built a wooden target, put it in my yard
in Buffalo.
in Buffalo.
You're just building wooden targets in your
Yep.
yard.
Yeah, I live in Springville, which is in the country.
I
So
see.
I have like 3 acres. There's nobody around. I was shooting my hunting rifle. Make a long story short, I put the rifle away. I was in my garage, cleaning my garage. All of a sudden, my neighbor came in front of in my garage. He was holding an AR-15.
Your neighbor?
My neighbor was holding an AR-15, and he started
Is this a neighbor
threatening me.
you know?
Yeah, yeah,
Why was he
He
threatening
couldn't
you?
come over and just say, hey?
yeah.
Was he threatening you because you were shooting your
Yes.
rifle?
Was he
I see.
afraid that you were going to shoot?
I don't know what he was thinking.
So you knocked the rifle out of his hand, and then you give him a 1-2?
I gave him a right cross,
Right in the
knocked
face.
him right out. Yeah.
Like, did you break his nose?
I
Or
did. I
you
broke
did?
his face.
You
I
broke
didn't
his
want to.
face.
I didn't want to. I was scared. I
Wow.
thought I was going to die.
So is that a stand your ground kind of defense?
I really did. I thought I was going to die. I thought he was going to shoot me. I thought I was going to die.
Did you call the cops?
I
or-
did.
And
I
what
called the
happened?
police.
Like, what happens?
They came. They arrested him. He's got 2 felony charges against him for unlawful use of a firearm. The Erie County Sheriff's Department back in Buffalo, New York, was fantastic.
Yeah.
I mean, they called me right away. They told me that they're gonna. New York gun laws are pretty strict. They told me they're gonna go and make sure that he doesn't have any other guns on his property. The next morning,
Did he have a manifesto or anything like that in
he
his
did.
house?
My daughter Ava asked me the same question.
Yeah.
Did they find a manifesto or
Yeah.
anything? They did not, but they did remove over 20 guns
Wow.
from his guy's property the next morning.
Crazy.
About 6 totally blacked out SUVs came flying down the driveway at his house. They raided his property.
You're making this all up.
I'm not making
The
this
whole
up.
story is made up.
I'm not making it up.
Wow.
That's one thing. That's one thing the jammer doesn't do is lie.
All right. I'm
I
not
never
messing-
lie, Ed.
I'm not messing with the jammer.
I
Kai,
never lie.
Kai wants us to talk about mental health. Enough about you knocking people out, breaking their face.
Way to go.
So the guy that's going to break your face is going to help you with your mental health. By the way, so I mean seriously, how do you help people with depression? What's the cure for depression?
Well, you know what? There's an old saying that you don't actually fix your problems, right? What you do is you fix your thinking,
Right.
and then your problems just kind of solve themselves.
How do
right?
I fix my thinking?
Oh, boy.
That's a
If you can fix that.
well. What we do is we take a look at the actual
Yeah.
thoughts that you're having, and we try to identify are they distorted? Are they negative? Are they based on anything real, or are they just fabricated?
I feel like I eat too many peanuts during the day. I feel like I don't go to the gym enough. I feel like I don't exercise enough. I mean, how do you fix those feelings?
Well, you know what? For people like us, and I'm going to say people like us, meaning people that are go-getters that kind of go out and do what they
Go-getters.
can to do things. There's basically there's a schema. It's called schema focused therapy.
Of course.
Okay.
I've heard of that.
It's called unrelenting standards.
Yes.
So people like us, we put ourselves through these unrelenting standards,
Right.
and we beat ourselves up if we're not perfect.
Right.
Right.
Then how do you fix that?
You need to rise up to those standards. See, that's the problem. There's the
I
problem.
set my goals too low.
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, you set your goals
Yeah.
too low.
I am, yes. A marriage counselor, family counselor.
Yeah.
You think that
Wait, you've been divorced twice. You're a marriage counselor? I mean, come on.
I haven't been divorced
Now
twice.
That hurt.
I've been divorced
That
once.
hurt.
Oh, I see. There wasn't ever.
Yep.
Okay,
That
gotcha.
hurt.
We got divorced because
Too
we
young.
just
You were
realized that we were better friends than we were when we were
So-
together.
And
That's
your experience at that
I'm
has probably
having
helped you.
visions of a past show that did not end well, and please don't knock him out.
I will
Most
not.
shows
I will
don't end
not.
well. No, so help people on the beach. They're going through a lot of crap now. Come on, Jamie.
Well, you know what? I actually, to prepare for your show, I did a lot of research down here about the counseling services that are available in Fort Myers, and believe it or not, there's a lot of counseling agencies
Right.
down here. You know, all you have to do is Google, counseling agencies in Fort Myers, Florida, and a whole list of different counseling centers will come up, and a lot of them take insurance. A lot of them, from what I saw, a lot of trauma specialists,
Mhm.
which is exactly what
And they
need.
might have a sliding scale thing too, so that you just
Absolutely.
call them and work with them.
Insurance is a dirty word on this island. Just
Well,
so you know. I know you're
homeowners
talking about
insurance,
different
but we're
insurance,
talking about
but
health
it is a very
insurance.
dirty word on
And
this
health
island.
insurance sometimes can be a rough thing
Yeah.
too. But that you should not let that be what gets in your way. You should really just, reach out and ask for help.
So before I forget, what is your favorite color?
My favorite color is this blue, this royal blue,
Right.
Buffalo Bills blue.
Buffalo Bills blue.
What-
All right. What was your favorite TV show growing up?
I would have to say Family Ties
Family
Okay.
Ties
with Alex P. Keaton,
Yes.
That's
Michael J.
right.
Fox. Remember him?
Favorite
Yes.
movie of all time?
Whoa, favorite movie of all time. Boy, I would have to say. Are we
Top
talking
Gun.
comedy?
No.
Are we talking comedy? Are we talking
Whatever
drama?
your favorite
Jamie,
is.
just answer the question. You can't ask questions
I
about
would-
the questions.
I would say favorite movie of all time, probably
Rocky.
Christmas Vacation.
Nice. Favorite band?
Favorite band? That's easy. Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Very nice. As long as it's not Pink Floyd.
Right.
Your most embarrassing moment of all time?
Besides doing this
Besides
show.
doing this show, I would say, when I was 3 years old, I
Remember 3
How
years
can you be
old.
embarrassed at
I pooped my
3?
pants at daycare,
Oh,
and I
cut it
remember
out.
that.
You just
and
made that up.
I didn't make it up. It
Now,
was
if you would have said 3 years ago I pooped my pants, that would have been embarrassing. But everybody poops their pants when they're.
well, you kids are cruel. I got
3
made fun
days
of
ago.
for years for it.
So, what else do you want to tell people about helping them with their mental
Take
health?
the ticker off in
I
my
guess
ear.
I guess what I want to tell people is that if you ever feel like you want to kill yourself, okay, I mean, let's just get right straight to the point of what actually is serious, right? If you ever have that feeling, if you ever feel like your life isn't worth living, that's a temporary feeling. I mean, don't ever act on that,
Okay.
right? Just call somebody, call a friend, call a family member, call a therapist. I mean, just do something else before you actually think about trying to do something like that. I guess that'd be the message I would want to send.
All right. Well, that
people.
is very important. We don't want
That is a very important message.
we don't want anybody doing that for sure. So, thank you for that. And thank you for
You're
coming
welcome.
on, and thanks
for having me.
for dressing up for the show. We appreciate it very much.
Well, I knew you'd have your tank top on, so I figured I'd have mine on too.
And I'm never going to come to your house with an AR-15. I mean, I don't even know what that is. So it just sounds like a dangerous
Thanks,
weapon.
Ed.
Thank you, James. very
Pleasure to
much.
meet you.
Thank
Thank you
you.
very much.
All right, everybody. Before we go and before we talk about, for some reason, you've got this anger thing with me today. In the last few
No,
shows,
my mother sent me a message and said that I need to hit you with my shoe. So
there's some history to
Usually-
that. When we have people over,
usually-
which is rare because she doesn't ever want anybody to come over to the house. So yes, you want to come on? Oh, I'm sorry.
If anybody ever needs mental health help, suicidal or just mental health, you're having a bad day, 988. It's a national telephone number, and you will reach a professional that can help you with your mental health. Yes.
988 is the number. I did not
Thank
know
you.
that. Did you
I
know that?
I was trying to look it up on my phone, but you weren't giving me
Yes,
time.
please call 988
Yes.
if you're thinking about something like that. So, no, when we sometimes we have people over like once a year or something. We have people over, and if she feels like I'm saying something stupid, she just whips off her shoe and she friggin' whips it across the.
No,
and it typically
I
hits me
don't-
right in the head, which
No,
is what her
It's
mom wants.
It's a quick flick to the forehead.
For some reason, one time somebody said something to you. We have like this 10-foot bar in the back, not because we drink or anything like that, just because it looks nice. And somebody said something, one of our friends said something, and she grabbed over by his collar and pulled him like totally over. You remember that? Who was that? Pulled him
It was
over.
Tony.
It was Tony, and flattened him right there. So she doesn't put up
did
with any shit at her
not.
house.
I
Come
did
on,
not
play it
flatten
down,
him.
play it down, sure. And that wasn't the night I had the spoons. It had nothing to do with
No,
that night.
But
so.
in our house, there's a certain decorum that has to be maintained.
Yeah.
And so
So before what we're going to talk, there were a couple other things I want to make sure everybody knows about. The Matchbox 20 concert that's coming up at Hammond Stadium, the discount of 15% on those tickets, if you put Beach Talk Radio or Beach Talk in the checkout, it only lasts until the 31st. So if you don't want the discount, then just wait until after the 31st. But if you want to get the discount, Dan Allers is going to be recognized as a hurricane hero. A few other people you might know are going to be recognized. So Matchbox 20 and Dan Felder, whatever that guy's name is from the Eagles. Does anybody remember the Eagles? John Felder or Bob Felder, one of the Felder guys. Don Felder, Sheena Brooke is going to be there. So
it's so funny after all the crap you give me about not knowing the
I wasn't an
artist,
Eagles
and
fan.
then
If
you
I
were
wanted to
just
fall
like,
asleep, I put the Eagles on. I mean, the songs are like 15 minutes. I mean, they're 15 minutes long. It's like Pink Floyd Jr. there. I mean, they had a couple of songs that you could.
Please,
What?
your guy.
What guy?
Mhm.
Oh, Jimmy Buffett. She hates
Yeah.
when I put the Radio Margaritaville on at the house. She just hates it.
Listen, it's fine.
There
but
are
it's
some
the
slow songs that
same-
you got to turn off. But I mean, whatever.
I'm turning you off. All right. Thank you so much
No,
for joining
we're
us.
not
Oh, you
done
have
yet.
more?
There's a
Well,
whole
hurry
list
up.
of things to talk about. So that the discount of 15% off the tickets goes until Monday. So go on our website and it's not really a show when she leaves. Oh, she's got to go number one. I see. I'll keep talking. Don't worry. We'll wait for her to get back. It's October 7th at Hammond Stadium, which is where the Twins play. So don't get it mixed up with where the Red Sox play. It's where the Twins play. So get your discount for that. Our Wisconsin show is coming up 2 weeks from today. And we have over 100 people coming to watch us do this silly show, which we appreciate, but we have no idea why. So we're going to be at Tanner's Bar and Grill in Kimberly, Wisconsin on August 12th, which, by the way, is Kim's birthday. So we're going to have some, even though she doesn't want me to acknowledge it, she'll never know now that I acknowledged it. We're going to have a little surprise on August the 12th. Which she's going to turn 29 or 39 or something like that. So thank you all for coming to the show out in Kimberly, Wisconsin. And thank you to the folks at Tanner's Bar and Grill for setting things up. It's a pool party, and the party's going to be all day, and the show's going to be 4 to 6 Wisconsin time. I have no idea how many hours, 1 hour difference. So it'll be 3 o'clock here. So, I mean, I know nobody's going to watch it. So if you're interested in watching, it's going to be 3 o'clock. We have a great lineup of guests for that. The 5K race. We're doing a 5K race the day before Labor Day. And once again, the ladies are outpacing the men in the registrations because dudes are friggin' lazy. I mean, compared to women, it's crazy that it's like 20% men and the rest, the women. So we're going to be doing that. We have almost 100 people signed up for that race already. We're always looking for volunteers. And that's the day before Labor Day. Everything's going to be inside at the Diamond Head Resort. We're going to be doing the awards inside. We got vendors set up inside. There's going to be entertainment inside. There's going to be mimosas. And what was the other drink that you had at the race you did? Mimosas and mimosas and what else?
No, that's what they had.
And what other? The Bloody Marys, mimosas and Bloody Marys for sale. And thank you to Diamond Head. And by the way, Diamond Head is giving us a weekend stay.
Not
when
us.
we go to give away when we go
Yeah.
to Wisconsin. So that's very nice of them to do that. What?
I'm totally not surprised that you're still talking.
Dear-
I could
dear,
go to
I-
the bathroom. I could do my hair.
Yes.
Maybe get
I'm
a
a radio
manicure.
guy.
I could probably read War and Peace, and you still would be.
I used to do
yik-yakking.
this for 3 hours a day, 5 days a week.
Oh my God, those
Yeah.
poor people.
Yeah. And so the other two things, as you all know, the Outrigger and Charlie's were sold for $38.2 million. Yeah, that's a pretty penny. I was going through some of the research, and I think they bought it back when they first opened for like $60,000. I mean, some crazy
I know,
amount.
but
It's
you
just,
can't really.
I know, but still 38.
Inflation.
Those people are going to be deservedly so, living pretty, whoever takes that money. But anyway, the CEO of the buyer, London Bay, will be on our show for a Friday night happy hour at 5 o'clock. So we're going to ask him what he plans to build right there. And if you all think it's going to be 3 stories in a tiki bar on the beach, you might want to start rethinking your thinking, because I don't think it has a single chance.
At home.
Oh, no, we're going to be doing it remotely Friday. So it won't be, maybe we can make it, if we can find out a place to do it live, maybe we can come back. No, he's not going to be, he's not in town.
Yeah.
He's not in town. So
I
it'll be
had
remotely.
plans, so you might be on your own.
And then
side.
Saturday, the town manager will be on for the first time since he was hired, Andy Hyatt. So we got a lot of stuff going on, everybody. Thank you all for everything. Thank you for donating to Lacey and Summer. SUMMA. And thank you to the Jammer. And if you want, by the way, if you want some mental health, or if you want your lights punched out, just come right over to this table right here today, because he could do both for you right now. And we will. Are you biking tomorrow?
Yeah. Are you?
I'm biking with my bro brothers
Mhm.
out in Gateway. Where are you biking tomorrow?
I haven't figured it out yet. You know me. I'm last
Yeah.
minute Lucy.
By the
here.
way, the video of you biking with the wireless microphones was
I
so
know,
crystal
it was
clear.
great, but I about lost my mind. I was losing my mind because we could not get that transferred. But that
Yeah,
is
it was
the
a big
better
video.
thing.
It does sound better, but what not being on the Facebook Live so you can see the comments makes
I
it.
can't see them anyways. Yeah, I get it.
Thank you all.
All righty.
Bye bye.